Hello, Jasveer. My name is Lokesh. I'm from Kalpa, and I'm here to interview you for your candidature for the 2021 student elections. So, please introduce yourself briefly.
Hi Lokesh and hi everyone. I'm Jasveer Singh. I'm a BSMS second year student. That's the batch of 2025. And I think because most of you all know me by that name, hi, I'm Jasveer.
Please state some of the problems you think the student community faces as of now.
I guess some of the main, most prominent problems that the student community is facing right now on this online platform are, first of all, less interaction, like almost negligible interaction with their fellow batchmates, probably a little contribution because of a little lack and negligence of the student for the clubs, and a lack of events to some extent. And of course there's the problems because of some of the profs, for example, are not uploading the lectures by the end of the week, which of course as stated by the guidelines, which causes some of the problems, especially during the last at least for like 1 or 2 weeks before the midsems or the nsem examinations. And yeah, one of the other major problems, if I must are is the grading system, because I think the grading system right now is a little screwed. Because and statically speaking too, we can see that the CGPA of the average CGPA of the batches have been falling after the new grading system was implemented. And what worsens the situation is the really scarce amount of A plus that's been given right now.
So, what would be your election manifesto and briefly explain your main goals?
So I think the election manifesto is quite big, so I'll be focusing on the more prominent points. I find. Yeah. So one of the things that I think is the need of the hour right now is to actually implement a proper system for the relay of information. I think that the job of the student council is to act as a middle party, a middleman between the administration and the student body as a whole. So I think establishing a proper system for a chain for this proper transfer of information between the administration, the student council, and the student body, and vice versa would actually go a long way. And what this will also do is actually introduce four more checkpoints. Checkpoints which bring with them the opportunity for a good feedback system with the student body. So that's you guys. We'll actually let you know how the student council works, and you guys get to know about the inner workings of the council, what does happen in a senate meeting, in an inter student council meeting, and what happens, what does not happen. You guys get to know what actually happened with the votes that you're going to cast on 4th September. Yeah. And the second thing is to rectify or not, I guess, improve the grading system. Because like I guess right now the main problem with the grading system is of course going to be someone at the extreme right end of the spectrum, but you can't choose just that one guy and base the whole grading system for the 300 strength batch based on just that guy. And the thing that worsens the situations to the full extreme is the least amount of A plus that the students are being awarded. Also, if you kind of think it's double standard, I guess, because the A pluses are being awarded at based on an absolute scale that we have no say in it, right? And that absolute scale is decided by the prof. But what it brings with it is the whole batch. The grading system for the whole batch is relatively checked based on that one milestone. What could be done, for example, to improve that is you take the top 5% of the students, get an average of their scores, and then use that as a milestone to set the relative grading boundaries. Yeah.
Hmm. How do you plan to improve or maintain communication between the admin members and the people of student council and also among your fellow council members?
Yeah. So of course, first step is to implement that chain of command and the chain of transfer of information. Second, I think that the student council should act as an umbrella association. Because if I, as a student, max to max in my power, I can contact the student council member, or I can send an email to a prof or the dean or director. But a single email doesn't really hold that much ground, right? What the student council can do in such situations is take all these emails, take all these grievances, the inconvenience faced by the student body, and then, while being backed up by the student members as the representatives, bring these issues into light in the Senate meeting. Place them in front of the profs at an equal footing with the administration, because so they actually get to know, yeah, these issues are bad, these hold ground. and actually get to work on them. And of course, give the full feedbacks of these meetings to the students. And I guess what's the other thing is, of course, the continuous checks based on feedback system, which we can do, of course, on a Google Forms or things. But I guess we can also increase the number of inter-senate meetings we can hold, like biannual, by semester council meetings, and not just council and senate and town hall meetings. We can hold meetings with the council or student council on one side and the student body on the other, so the student body can actually shoot their question at the council members, because you guys voted us. We are just your representatives, so you can actually question us, keep why this was stated in n number of emails, why has this been done yet, what's things that's lacking, and we can actually tell you, inform you guys what's actually happening. Some professors are against it. Yeah.
Hmm. Is there
Oh,
any?
one more thing, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. Go on.
Yeah. So I think another point which comes to my mind is the decentralization of power. In my opinion, if all the power and all the responsibilities are under just a single person, that actually scrapes away any form of transparency, because it's just one person, the votes and the opinions can be biased, right? But if all these opportunities, these responsibilities are divided among a bunch of people and it's made interdisciplinary, then that gives the student to actually view the situation from a 360 degree, get to know each and every point in all different light that it can be seen from. Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there any specific committee or any specific post that you wish to apply for?
Yeah, so of course, being a general secretary would be nice, but I also know my shortcomings, and I know that I don't really have that much of a campus exposure. So while I stand in the student council member as a representative, I actually cannot surely speak of the problems and the circumstances faced by the people that are on campus right now. And of course, I'd be looking for cooperation from the previous council members. But yeah, that's one point. So I guess what I can do is take the posts that are in my hand, that I can actually enforce into the best of my abilities. So that would include the COSA, for example, and the student education committee. The yeah, the student academics committee. I think I can actually flourish a lot in those committees. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything more that you would like to add to support your candidature?
Hmm. So yeah, I think one of the points that I would like to tell about myself is, like, I know the students council is going to be some gruesome work. You're going to get into the things, into the conflicts. You're going to get your hands dirty, and it's not going to be sun and daisy. It's going to be hard work. But I think I'm genuinely interested to do that. I think it would be a really good growing experience for me to actually handle these responsibilities. Yeah, I think being in the council, learning from my peers, observing my peers and my seniors would actually be quite a maturing process for me. And I think one of the points that I stated earlier, me being a second year, I realized that I don't really have campus exposure, but I also think that that doesn't make me any less inferior to any other member. I think when I'm standing in the election, I'm not just standing as myself, I'm standing as a representative for my whole batch, and not just me, of all IISER as a whole. There's going to be juniors coming up after us, like in November, I guess, most probably. So yeah, when I'm standing for all of us. So I don't think that makes our opinions any less viable, because when I'm going to put an opinion there in the student council, that's not just my opinion. That's an opinion backed up by your grievances, by the people's inconveniences, by your opinions. So I don't think that makes it any less viable than any other opinion that you can offer. Yeah.
Thank you
And
so much, Jasveer.
but I
Thank
got
you
to
for
go.
your time.